So while I was brainstorming ideas for future videos, I remembered one of my old videos about boosting your creativity. One of the ideas was to use art prompts, and I think it would be a good fit to mix multiple prompts into one drawing for a video. This is Strawberry voiced by a bot. And let's see what we're working with. At first, I didn't really know what type, or how many prompts to use, but I figured 3 is a solid number. My first prompt type was for the character itself, the second would be for the color palette, and the third would be for the general theme of the drawing. Side note though, I'll give myself the creative freedom to work around these themes and colors. First up is the character. This website let me decide what I wanted before it gave the prompts, so I checked the gender, personality, and key feature so that I get a general idea of the character. When the prompts generated, I was trying to comprehend the words I'm seeing right now, but this was only 1/3 of the drawing, so I kept my opinion to myself until I get all 3 prompts. Onto the color palette. This website is really cool, and I've used it before, so I'm quite comfortable with it. I hit my spacebar with no specific colors in mind, and oh wow, okay, hear me out. The colors were nice, but it just did not feel enough to make a full drawing. I quickly went to the final website, so I can actually be done with these prompts, because right now it feels like I don't have much to work with. To my surprise, the theme was perfect for the color palette. It definitely depicts the scenery side of the drawing. With all of my prompts ready, it was time to actually draw. I won't show you the sketch process because it looked awful, so we will start off with the line art. I chose a dark brown color to do the line art since the whole atmosphere of the drawing will be soft and scenic. It would have looked rough and weird if I did the line art in black. I also recorded this without practicing before, so my line art will look bad to some extent. For the jacket, I thought it looked normal while I was drawing it, but as soon as I zoomed out the drawing I was in shock. Thank God I wasn't too lazy to redraw it though, otherwise it would have looked so bad. Also, don't even look at the hands. Just don't. Trust me, it's for the better. As you can see here, I struggled with the jaw way too many times, and it was really frustrating. And even when I thought I was done, I looked back at it again and realized one was way broader than the other. I also wanted to add a scar on his face to indicate he was climbing or going on an adventure. It's not the best, but I think it looks cool. Going to the shadows, I didn't really pick where I wanted the light to come from, but eventually, it was from the top left corner of the drawing. Shading the skin was quite fun, because I'm still experimenting on way to do it instead of sticking to one way. Fast forward a little bit, I added a bit of ashy shadows for no reason. It looked decent though, so I blended it in. Here I'm coloring and shading his scar. I've never really colored scars before, so it was quite new to me. I was sort of adding deeper red colors and blending them until I felt satisfied with the outcome. For the hair, this wasn't the best shading, but I guess it works. Blonde hair is really difficult to pick shades for, so that was my main problem. I couldn't pick really yellow shades or orange ones. Going back to the light source, the shading felt weird in some areas, because there should have been highlights instead. It's an issue I'm still working on improving, so bear with me for a bit. The clothes are where the color palette really comes in handy in. The brown tones looked perfect for a jacket, and since I didn't have much else to work with, the shirt underneath became teal colored. I'm not the best at shading clothes, but I went with my hunch on where shadows and lights would go, and blended them roughly because it looked better than smooth shading in my opinion. Also, after looking at his head for some time, I decided to fix this weird bit. If you remember, one of the prompts for his key feature was a small head, but I clearly forgot, and then was too lazy to fix. The jacket felt really simple, so I took the teal color and started drawing a logo. It was a logo from a show I was watching at the time, but I'm sure it exists in real life as well. Also, some accents around the jacket looked nice in my head, so I added them. Now it was finally time for the crucial part of the drawing, the background. I did look up some tutorials on how to properly draw it, but none of them pointed me towards what I had in my mind, so I just went with the flow and drew what I thought looked best. The primary theme prompt was mountain, so I imagined him being on top of it looking proud of himself. That might have been too ambitious from my side, because why did I even think I could draw a mountain? Now I finally decided to draw some sunshine and light sources and play around with the filters to get the best outcome. With some overall shadows and effects, this is the final result. The prompts weren't strictly done, but I guess this works as well considering I maintained the general theme of them. Let me know what you think of the drawing, and by the way, thank you for all the support on my art videos. I appreciate every comment. For now, thank you for watching and stay hellish.